there's a strong argument that we do not meet UN standards on national elections. And what's ironic there is we wrote those standards.
Yeah, that is ironic.
And we didn't get to that in this conversation.
Okay.
You know what, the issue 2 thing,
Excuse
I had a conversation with a lawyer friend, and he was saying, you know, the state bar did not endorse it, and he wasn't surprised that it went down as resounding.
On
as
issue
it
2.
did. On issue 2. He said because they were concerned not to give the judges the power to appoint these panels. And I said, David, what are the alternatives? You can't do it perfectly. We got to do something here.
I voted for issue 2.
I had
I
a
did
quite
too.
conversation.
I did
with-
too.
And it wasn't because of partisanship. It was exactly that at least it was a first step. I think it became very partisan because of who's in power now. But I have absolutely no doubt whatsoever that if the situation were reversed and Democrats had the disproportionate amount of seats in the state, vis-a-vis the way the public is going, and we are very clearly a 50-50 state. The presidential election played that out. It would be the Republicans that were pushing some form of issue 2. So the attempt to become nonpartisan in and of itself was partisan, and that was unfortunate.
Well, you know what I would like to see, though? I would like to see a bipartisan.
Well, we all
And
like
I mean,
to see bipartisan.
right. I mean, but in this whole issue of
Well, that was what's
redistricting.
supposed to be. That was what was supposed to be proposed by issue 2, wasn't it? Kind of, sort of.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, you don't know what the appointments would actually be, but it would be great if, because you know what, the winner can always afford to be gracious. And I think it would be great if, because generally the winner is the one that controls the redistricting. So it would be great if you created a bipartisan effort to do that, so that everyone gets something, but so that our lines aren't so crazy. They've been pretty.
Right
Yeah.
now, we are a 50-50 state, and the way our congressional delegation is playing out, it's going to be 14-4 in the new Congress. And that is very disproportionate.
Well, it'll be more than 14. It'll be 114-4 because Boehner is Speaker of the House.
Well, that could very well be. But I'm looking at just the Ohio delegation right now. It'll be 14-4.
Well, he's from Ohio.
I understand, but he's still one person in one seat.
Yeah,
Granted,
yeah,
relative
but
power is
he-
different. And there are some others with some relative power as well. Nobody is as powerful as the speaker, and whoever that person's going to be is going to be the most powerful person. He happens to be from Ohio. And I think that's a good thing. I like the fact that there's a lot of attention placed on Ohio. However, the gerrymandering, the way it's been done, has served to disenfranchise a number
Right.
of voters, and you don't have that 50-50 split. The reason you see, the reason the Congress stayed the same, at least the House of Representatives, is because of the way a lot of states, in my view, a lot of states draw their districts. The Senate was another story. I think we can talk about women's issues as keeping the Senate Democratic. The fact that you had a couple of people making really stupid comments really
Helped.
turned the tide. Well, from your perspective, helped.
Helped,
From
yeah.
somebody else's perspective, hurt.
Maybe not,
And
yeah.
from when I speak publicly, it's turned the tide.
Turn the tide.
And how I vote is, my thing. But no, women's issues clearly were out there. And there are a lot of very exciting things happening with women now. You have, more women in the Congress than ever before.
Yeah.
The first
Thank
openly gay woman is going to be seated in the United States Senate. There's a lot of very exciting things happening for women. We're part of the conversation now in ways that we never had been before, and that's all very good.
And I think diversity, period.
David keeps reminding us of the fact that we're trying to deal with this in such a way that the perfect has become the enemy of the pretty good.
That's interesting.
The idea that Ralph's, and NPR's the favorite program, Ralph's Pretty Good Grocery. Everybody knows about Ralph's Pretty Good Grocery. Well, there's a place for pretty good. We're human beings. We're not perfect. We can't invent perfect things. Can we be somewhat closer to the good?
Or we can consistently review, analyze, and move forward towards improvement.
But we're not doing that, are we? I mean, we can't even get our fiscal house in order, given the frightening prospects of doing the right
But
thing.
I'm going to hold on to some optimism just a little bit longer.
Good for you.
And hope that things will get better.
I hope you're right.
Excellent.